My name is Muhamed ABDELNABI. I'm from Egypt and I work as a freelancer translator from English into Arabic now, mainly literature. The best thing to be a writer in Egypt is that the society is very rich. You have the society full of problems, small ones, big ones, clear and hidden problems, and you can't run out of ideas of novels and stories. You find every day you find new idea or new thing nobody wrote about it before you. The worst thing is that nobody cares about writing. Almost nobody cares. You are all alone from the beginning, from the first day as a writer. You have no institution to support you. The publishers, like small monsters, want to eat you alive. They don't tell you what to do, how to be a writer, what to write. There are a few years now, we have some workshops to learn how to write. But before this, there were no workshops like this in Egypt. Young writers they are lost. They don't know where to go and who to talk with. If you don't have a small group of friends who is writing and share you the same passion, you are lost. The best thing about Egypt is the Egyptian people. I know it's very cliche, but the Egyptian people look like simple people and naive sometimes, but when you have enough time with them, when you know them better, you discover the layers inside each one of them, layers of cultures and religious levels and languages. Maybe in the same Arabic, in Egyptian everyday language, you have vocabulary from many languages, and maybe they don't know this richness inside them. Maybe I say this because I'm Egyptian and they are my people and my family. And if I were born in Japan, I will say the same thing about Japanese people. But you need to love one person in order to taste the love, and you need to know well one nation at least to love all nations and all people. So it's Egyptian for me. I don't know, and I don't want to know why I'm writing. The writing is not the question; it's the answer. I don't think the happy people asking themselves why I'm living. The unhappy people only who ask this question. Sometimes I feel like we are all lonely, very lonely creatures as human beings, and writing sometimes be the solution of this loneliness, or it gives our loneliness body and story and concrete things. It makes our loneliness like beautiful thing. I would like to say Naguib Mahfouz, Cairo, but I will not say Naguib Mahfouz because you know him well and his works. I will recommend Edward Al-Kharrat novel Rama and the Dragon. Edward Al-Kharrat is the poet of the modern novel in Egypt, and he didn't receive the appreciation and the reading he really deserves. So I think he is very important novelist, and you can find his novel Rama and the Dragon in English by good translation by Dr. Frial Ghazul. I have many poet friends, so I read poetry, especially the prose poetry. It's very strong now in Egypt and the Arab world. And at the same time, I love very old traditional Arabic poems because you can always find little gems and beautiful things in this old traditional Arabic poetry. And I like the Oriental Sufi poems, like Rumi and Hafiz Shirazi and all of this, and of course Tagore also. I don't know. Yes, I think in every state, every country need to pay more attention to literature, to arts in general. But how it could be, I don't know. I'm not sure. There are grants in Egypt, in the Ministry of Culture, give some artists and writers grants for 1 year or 2 year or something like that. But it's like just a drop in the desert, drop of water in the desert. So we need more attention. We need more financial support. Maybe they can support the good independent publishing houses. Maybe they could pay for the publishing houses and for the writer to circulate more books in the schools and in the university. Maybe there are ways, but they need intention to do it. I don't know, but there are no surprises. I knew what I expect, but I loved the Iowa City, and I think it's a perfect place for writers. You can meet writers everywhere, and when you see students going and coming, you feel life, and they feed your passion. Me too. I want to go study and read and write. You feel younger. There is no specific question, but I always like to talk about my language and how it changed from very respectful and traditional language like Quranic language when I was a little bit younger, because I have religious education in the university and I have to recite the Quran and memorize it. So my language have many phases, past many phases, and now I would like to write simple language, concrete, not metaphoric. I don't know, but it's writing life is very lonely life, and it's always pleasure to break this closed circle and to let the writers talk to each other. So it's a pleasure to be here in the IWP, and it's a pleasure to be here with you now.